पत्रकार नीरजा चौधरी की नई किताब हाउ प्राइम मिनिस्टर डिसाइड्स का विमोचन प्रधानमंत्री संग्रहालय और पुस्तकालय सोसाइटी तीन मूर्ति भवन, तीन मूर्ति मार्ग, नई दिल्ली में 9 अगस्त 2023 को किया गया।
अस्सलामु अलैकुम, मैं ज़मीर अहमद अंसारी और आप देख रहे हैं जेड न्यूज़ फॉर यू। अर्ज यह है कि आपने अपने चैनल जेड न्यूज़ फॉर यू को अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो सब्सक्राइब करें और साथ में दिए हुए बेल आइकन को भी दबाएं, जिससे हमारी आने वाली सभी वीडियोस के नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिल सकें।
पत्रकार नीरजा चौधरी ने मंगलवार को अपनी नई किताब हाउ प्राइम मिनिस्टर डिसाइड्स के विमोचन के दौरान कहा कि वे शुरू में नोटबंदी पर लिखना चाहती थीं, लेकिन उन्हें ये विचार छोड़ना पड़ा क्योंकि उन्हें पता था कि इस विषय पर आवश्यक जानकारी हासिल नहीं कर पाएंगी। लेखक ने भारतीय राजनीति को एक महान भारतीय नौटंकी नाटक बताया है। किताब का विमोचन करने वाले एनसीपी सुप्रीमो शरद पवार ने कहा कि नरसिम्हा राव सर्वश्रेष्ठ प्रधानमंत्री थे। मुख्य अतिथि केरल के राज्यपाल आरिफ मोहम्मद खान ने कहा कि वे पिछले 3 दिनों से किताब पढ़ रहे हैं। भारतीय राजनीति को दलगत सीमाओं से ऊपर उठकर व्यापक भलाई के लिए काम करने पर ध्यान केंद्रित करना चाहिए, सर्वोच्च बलिदान देना चाहिए, अच्छे शिष्टाचार और आचरण रखना चाहिए, विशाल ज्ञान प्राप्त करना और हमें सभी को समायोजित करना चाहिए। श्री खान ने कहा। पत्रकार राजदीप सरदेसाई ने कहा कि पुस्तक ये बताती है सरकार कैसे काम करती है और सरकार पर शासन करने वाले विभिन्न राजनीतिक दलों की गलतियों को उजागर करती है। भाजपा नेता दिनेश त्रिवेदी ने पुस्तक लिखने के लिए नीरजा के शोध प्रयासों की सराहना की। महाराष्ट्र के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री पृथ्वीराज चौहान ने कहा कि किसी अन्य लेखक ने इस पुस्तक को उस तरह से नहीं अपनाया जिस तरह से नीरजा ने अपनाया था।
Powerful bureaucrats and various other influential figures operating within the political ecosystem. And it is through these individuals that she tells the stories in the book. There are 60 pages of notes at the end of the book, and most of these detail the high-level sources she was able to tap to tell the stories of the 6 PMs who feature in How Prime Ministers Decide. It is this aspect of the book that gives it its credibility and opens our eyes about how power is exercised at the top. Another thing that sets the book apart is its scope. Through the long and extremely complex stories of the 6 PMs and the history-altering decisions they took, she's able to give us a compelling, panoramic view of how political power is exercised in independent India. Shashi is here. But this is not just a book of sweeping views of Indian politics. It's chock full of stories and literally thousands of surprising details about the extremely complex world of Indian politics. It humanizes these grand personages and shows them being vulnerable, making mistakes, looking for solace, being fearful, being let down, misled, and so on. You begin to see their human side in a very real way, and that's rare in this genre. Although this is a book of very serious non-fiction, that isn't sensational in the least, it reads like a thriller. Every single para of its 600 plus pages has something special about it. The spectacular insight, a nugget of information, an eye-opening quote, and all these come together so seamlessly that the reader stays riveted to every page. This didn't happen by magic. Neerja is a bit of a perfectionist, and when she came to us with the first draft of the manuscript, she said that while her book was on a weighty subject, she wanted it to be an easy read without losing any of its depth or insights. In other words, she wanted it to obey the dictum invented by Muhammad Ali. She wanted her book to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. We were up for the challenge because we have never seen ourselves as glorified printers, but we've always worked to add value to the books we publish. Accordingly, my colleagues Ainla, Kanika and I worked together with Neerja on no less than 7 drafts of the book for nearly 2 years. Fortunately, the objectives of Aleph and the author were aligned. Both of us wanted to make the book as perfect as it could be, and I think that effort shows on the page. Most of the book's early readers have found it unputdownable, and this is again something that sets it apart from run-of-the-mill books on Indian politics. I could go on for longer, but I won't, because we have a rare feast of opinion in store for us. All that remains for me to say is that all of us are literally greatly privileged to being given the opportunity by Neerja to publish How Prime Ministers Decide and we very much hope it will reach a wide audience. The Chairman of the NCP, Mr. Sharad Pawar, will shortly release the book in the presence of the Honorable Governor, Mr. Arif Mohammed Khan, and the distinguished panelists. Mr. Khan will then address the audience. The chief guest's address will be followed by a discussion moderated by Rajiv Desai. I would now like to invite Mr. Pawar to release the book.
Honorable Shri Sharad Pawar ji, Member of Parliament, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Member of Parliament, Shri Prithviraj Chavan ji, Member of Assembly and former Chief Minister, Shri Dinesh Trivedi, former Member of Parliament, Shrimati Neerja Chaudhary ji, Shri Gayatri Secretary, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to congratulate Shrimati Neerja Chaudhary and the publishers for this wonderful book, which I have been reading since last 3 days. And because you have sent me the book, and my name has been mentioned so many times that now I will refrain from speaking on the book. In Indian tradition, among the ashrams, the supreme ashram is considered Grihastha ashram. And among the callings, the supreme calling is Rajadharma. Because everything else, all other ashrams depend on Grihastha ashram, and all other callings, vocations, professions, they all depend on Rajadharma. When we look at the world, it has always been so, and possibly will continue to be so. There is beautiful lines from the Sanskrit text which says, Kvachid vina vadyam, kvachidapi ha heti ruditam, kvachid nari ramya, kvachidapi jara jar vapu, kvachid vidvad goshti, kvachidapi sura matta kalaha, ना जाने संसारा किम अमृतमया किम विषमया. The world in which we live, there are, you see and hear beautiful music and sounds and conversations, and then on the other hand there are people who are lamenting in a sorrowful and sad voices. There are beautiful, enchanting women, and there are dilapidated bodies. You have meetings of the erudite and learned people, and then you also see drunken brawls. Therefore, nobody really knows what this world is, whether it is full of amrit or full of poison. Therefore, each one of us, we are living with these contradictions. and we can aim to reduce the poison aspect, seamy side of things, and do whatever we can to wipe the tears from the sad and suffering eyes. Since I have already said that I am not going to speak much about the book, because if I start commenting on that, then I will be sort of sitting in judgment about things in which I myself was a player. But in my opinion, the real crisis of politics can be explained through a short anecdote from Mahabharata. When the education of the Kaurav princes, which included Pandavas, started, first day, the lesson which was given by Guru Dronacharya was Satyam Vad Dharmam Cha. Speak truth and act rightly. And the pupils were asked to remember this lesson as it used to happen through recitation. In the evening, when the Guru asked the princes to repeat or to tell him whether they have learned the lesson which was given in the morning, they were 105. The 104 recited this line very smooth. And the 105th, whom we call Dharmaraj, that is Yudhishthira, he said that he has not been able to learn the lesson. And in the coming days, every day he was reprimanded, upgraded, but he said that he has not been able to learn that lesson. And sometime at the end of his life, he said that the lesson which was given by the Guru on the first day, it took me a whole lifetime to learn that lesson. The crisis today, not today, generally in politics, is the crisis is the gap between the precept and the practice. Martin Luther King, when he launched his movement, he said, in what ringing words, he said, all we ask America is to be true to what you say on paper. We are not asking for anything more. And we all know that as a result of his movement, and he was greatly inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, who had declared that my life is my example. It was only because of his movement that Obama could become president of the US. But much before that, and I feel sorry that as Indians we do not know it. Much before that, Shri Narayan Guru in Kerala said the same thing. He said, if my belief and your belief is Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi, then how can you discriminate against it? How can you refuse to permit 40% women of Kerala to wear upper garment? How can you practice untouchability, unapproachability, unseeability? And this point I am emphasizing because there have been social movements in other parts of the country also, which resulted in social transformation of the society, but at the cost of social tension. Kerala is one bright example where, I mean, to understand where Kerala was at that time, we can refer to the statement made by Swami Vivekananda when he visited Kerala. After 3-4 days of visit, he said, Kerala is not a state, it is a Bhrantale. Bhrantale means lunatic asylum in Malayalam. He was so upset. And today if you come to Kerala, I do not think any other state in India, the individual has that robust sense of equality and human dignity which you find in Kerala. How this happened? Not through the help of foreign ideas. Purely Advaitva. Every person, every human being, every man, every woman is potentially divine. What Swami Vivekananda had said, my mission is very simple. I want to teach unto mankind their divinity and its manifestation in all movements of life. Shri Narayan Guru relied totally on that. And the result was that there was not only that there was no social tension in Kerala, but the so-called upper caste became his disciples, his followers during his lifetime itself. And the robust sense of equality and dignity, I can refer to one small anecdote. One day, Chief Secretary, who is now retired and is Chief Information Commissioner of Kerala, he came to see me. I mentioned about this. I said, I'm so impressed in Kerala. The robust sense of equality. I told him honestly, I said, when my guests come from UP or other parts of North India, I make a request to them. Please, when you are speaking to the peon and the Mali of the Raj Bhavan, speak very respectfully. They are so conscious of very robust sense of equality. The Chief Secretary told me, he said, sir, only 3 days back, my driver told me, sir, what is the difference between you and me? I did not choose to write IAS examination. I've already taken more than 10 minutes. I will just conclude this as directed by you. Originally it was otherwise. But, sometimes I find it very strange that even in Parliament or outside Parliament, when we are pleading for something which has humane overtones, then we appeal to our rivals, please rise above party politics. Rise above party, as if politics is something nefarious, something obscene, something totally selfish. No, that is not. The Indian idea of politics. The Indian idea of politics is, and what I'm going to tell you is not a recent composition, few thousand years old, wherein it has been asserted, Sarve Tyaga Raj Dharmeshu Drishta, Sarve Diksha Raj Dharmeshu Chokta, Sarve Vidya Raj Dharmeshu Yukta, Sarve Loka Raj Dharmeshu Pravishta. If you want to come into public life, if you have that orientation, that public spirit, then you must be ready to make supreme sacrifice at any time. And you must have good manners, behavior, conduct. You should be armed with vast knowledge, and your heart and mind should be big enough to accommodate all kind of people. And I will conclude again with a small story, a message which was given by one of the great women of ancient India. After Mahabharat war, few years, when Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and Kunti decided to go for Vanprastha, the Pandavas tried to dissuade them. They stuck to their decision. Finally, they went to see them off. And then after reaching a particular spot, Kunti stopped and she told Yudhishthira, Nirvasva Purushresht Bhim Siyadivisa Dharmete Dhyatam Buddhi Mansate Mahdastucha. Now you stop here, do not follow us. You have to run the administration of the country. And Dharmete Dhyatam Buddhi. Your intellect and reason must be established in righteousness. Mansate Mahdastucha. And your manas, your heart and mind should be big enough to accommodate, to look after, to take care of all kind of people. I am sure that when you will read this book, you can reach your own conclusions. And the only reason I have said earlier, I have been mentioned there so many times that I don't want to sit in judgment on something in which I myself was a player. So you have heard me. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Loka samasta sukhilo bhavantu. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.